Okay. As I said, I'll have to take the tank off. Like I said, 2 bolts here, real simple. I also have to obviously pull off the fuel line here, and there's another vacuum line, this one here, that opens up the fuel, the petcock when you start the engine to let fuel flow into the carburetors. So that'll have to come off. The petcock stays on the tank. Expect fuel to come out of the lines. You make, if you want, put a rag underneath it to catch it. If you have an off position on this, on your petcock, your fuel selector, whatever you want to call it, make sure you turn it to the off position. In my case, it shuts off when I shut the engine off, so that won't be a problem. Take this clamp off. Oh, and of course, mine's got no fairing on it. Cause, you know, obviously it's an older bike and a cruiser style, so there's no fairings on it. And if you have to you might have to take the fairings off, various bits of plastic to get to your head. So that's just one of the steps that I won't have here. Now that I have that off, I'm going to take these bolts out so I can have clearance, so I can reach in there and pull that line off. That was easy. Always make sure you put your parts and bolts somewhere safe. So you won't lose them. I'm just going to put them in my 250 side covers for now. I know these are for the tank. If you have any doubts of what they're for, if you won't remember where they go, label them. Put them. Some guys will put them in different containers and put a label on them. Some guys will punch a hole, take a piece of cardboard, punch holes in them and label them, put the bolts into the holes, stuff like that. Another thing you can do is take pictures. Nothing wrong with taking pictures. You'll have a little tutorial guide as how to put it back together for yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. You can see the line, fuel line here, and the vacuum line. I'm going to pull the vacuum line off first, because it's easiest. There's no clamp on it. Put the fuel line, and a little bit of gas did come out. As long as I keep that fuel line upright, it should stay pretty much full. And now the tank can be removed. In my case, it just pulls back out from the little pegs. Oh yeah. And a lot of new bikes have fuel sending units and fuel gauges, so pull those connectors off. Mine are just little bullet connectors I pull off. This gauge doesn't have a fuel gauge because it has the wrong instrument cluster on it. I hook them up anyway. Okay, so now I have a more naked bike, so you can more easily see what we're up against. The breather tube is going to have to come off. I'm going to go run to my air box right there. I'll just pull it off of there. Probably easier. Oh, maybe I could pull it off there. The breather cover can stay on. To take the valve cover off, you have to pull I have to pull these covers off. These very well could be real tight, which that wasn't very tight. That worries me. Now note that I'm not doing this in any particular order. I could take the plugs out now. I just want to get the cover to the point where I can remove it And see those little covers come off, and there's those half moon seals right there. I'm just going to put my screws for each cover in the cover, set them off to the side, somewhere safe. Okay, and I'm going to remove the timing cover. Depending on how long it's been on there, it may be difficult to get off. When you open up that, you'll probably see your timing unit. Put that inside. I just put my bolts inside of it. Now what you'll be needing a wrench to fit this so I can turn it over when it's time. You'll understand what I mean in a few minutes. I have the covers off. At the end of the cam, I have this cover off, which is important. I have to take this breather off yet. Spark plugs out, plug wires off. So I'll start with the plugs. It's a good idea to know where the plug wires go. If you don't know, make sure you mark them, because it does matter. Grab your ratchet. And while you're doing this, you can check your plugs, see how they look. I happen to know that this one's actually running, seems to be running rich because it's black. It shouldn't be black like that. I am going to keep track of what plugs are where. Only because I need to know how these carburetors are performing. It's kind of a tight reach, but it can be gotten. And this one is actually running decent. Maybe a little bit lean, but not bad. But the reason I'm pulling these out is when I go to turn it over, I don't want any resistance from the compression of the engine. So this will just make it really easy to turn over. If you're worried about something falling in there, put a rag over it. And in fact, it's probably a good idea to stuff a rag over just put a rag over the holes. Something small, even just a paper towel or something, so you don't have any debris falling into, or dirt falling into your cylinders, which would be bad.